Hello folks, well today we've got a customer repair which is a TTI TCB550N, the N version being the surface mount variety. That's one of these. The previous one, which was the non-N version, we did a side-by-side test. We actually found it worked a tiny bit better, but in reality in the field I don't expect anybody to notice any difference. It's probably cheaper this than the previous model. Customer wants it doing 80 channel across the CPT and the UK, and he wants AM checking and optimising too. Now there is a problem with it, and that is that the extension speaker socket has been removed, which means we're plugged with crocodile clips to the speaker as we can't get an output. I'm not sure whether we can do anything about that. There's not going to be a spare part available from them. What I don't want to do is to order every type of surface mount possible extension speaker socket from China, Korea and Taiwan and spend about 30 quid doing it and waiting 6 weeks for parts. These are relatively cheap sets, and if you wanted one which was new, I think they can be got for around £40. I've got the crib sheet from when we covered it before, so I know all the adjustments. You can see we've got the extension speaker socket there, which we haven't had. I've printed off the instruction book because it's come on EC channels. We're going to do the tests on channel 40 CPT. We know how to adjust it because it says so in the instruction book, which is readily downloadable. I nearly said down available, but you know what I mean. So we're going to do it on channel 40 CPT, which is the centre of the band, is it not? So that ends at 27.405. The UK band starts 27.60125. So either channel 40 of CPT or channel 1 of UK are the centre of the band if you're doing it 80 channel. So that's what we're going to do, and then we will check it. I've already filled out some of the job sheet, so the test points are going to be CPT channel 1, CPT channel 40, and then UK channel 40. Doesn't do low pass, there's no point in doing anything except scrubbing it out. It's come with the factory mic. These are only they were made in 2022, so they're still a current model if TTI is still doing anything currently. Right, without further ado, have we got picture-in-picture on? No, we have now. We're going to key it up, and being a modern set, will take half a second to go into transmit. There we go. It's bob on 3 watts. So 3 watts. And on channel 40. It's also 3 watts. I'm not going to check UK until the end. I'm not charging this customer to do 80 channel. We have a scale of fees. If it's UK or it's CPT only, 40 channel FM, then it's a particular fee. If we add to that 80 channel, it's a different fee. If we look at AM, it's a different fee. And we're going to pretend that it's a UK or a CPT 40 channel set just to help him. Can't normally do that, but under these circumstances we will. So let's see what receive is. I'll dial in, we'll see what the frequency is first, I think. What a good idea. Let's go to the frequency counter and ba-bum. Is it number 2? Camera 2? Yeah, it is. 27. When we get back to channel 40. 2740493. I don't know whether it's adjustable, and it's near enough anyway. 2740493. Should of course be 405. Test gear's been on enough time for it to be accurate and warmed up. What we're doing, we're going to retune all the test set for deviation. Wow, it's showing 2 on this test set. Now it might be lying. We'll go over to the test set. We won't be doing the VCO, and the transmit current is 1.05 amps. So with that information, I expect it's a BS meter. If it's got a meter, it hasn't got a meter. Good. Say that they're all just pre-programmed anyway these days. You can take the transistors out of the transmitter, and they'll still swing across and say they're transmitting, because it's just pre-programmed. So why put it there in the first place? Yes, exactly. Let's put that into the frequency counter. Somebody says, what frequency counter? It was built into the test set. So we have 3 of these Marconi 2951 test sets. We did have 2955s, which are the one with the TV screen type thing, but we found it was too slow. There was latency with the you kind of got a built-in digital oscilloscope, but it's got latency, and you end up with adjust weight. I want things to be smooth. Everything's analog on the test instrument. So 27405. So these are 1982 model, but that's the way I've chosen to go. We've got a Schlumberger, is it 4040. We've got the quartz lock, is it 182 behind me. We've got a couple of Farnell ones, but for the one on this bench, we've chosen this particular test set for speed. And I said we have 3 of these test sets. So we'll put it on 27405, or just under. It smells of soap, this radio. I wish all radio smells of soap and not damp fag. But then it's only a couple of years old. Right, so we will look at what the SINAD meter says, which is, I say, hooked up to the because we can't get to the extension speaker, it's hooked up to the with this yellow wire to the actual loudspeaker. So if we go over to camera 4, we can have a look at the sensitivity. I don't expect there's any adjustments for this. It's a couple of years since I've seen one. I think we did a brand new one. And here we go. Oh yes. It's 0.34, so it's very, very good. So 0.34 microvolts. I don't expect it's adjustable. For 10 dB it's 0.3, and for 20 dB it's 0.85. Squelch. Full Squelch. Just have a quick look. Get the figures written down. I want it to be 100 microvolts. No hard and fast rule on that. It's come in as 100 microvolts. Excellent. And minimum, let's turn the Squelch down on the radio. We're parked at 0.3 of a microvolt. Switch the signal generator back on. Oh dear, that's not very good. Let's try again. 1 point, no it's not, it's 0.62. It's slow to react. So it doesn't have a meter, does have that because it's got LEDs. Dum-ba-bum. Good. So we'll tune up what we've got. How about that? So we've got Squelsch and Auto Squelsch. We had on this version. You know what? This version differs. So this is yet a different version. Oh well. I'll put the other test set on, ready to do the deviation. We'll go through this one. You can adjust the frequency. So we will. We'll get there eventually. This is the trouble, you put the tool in, even though it's ceramic, and we've got a slight difference. I think we'll leave it at that. 502. Just check again. 50502. I don't think we're going to get closer than that. Just check our receive. It's still somewhere around. Yeah. Let's look at the power. Okay. I'm going to use the bigger tool for this. If anything fits. It will do 4 watts. Just. See where we are on channel 1. Actually just over 4.02. Oh, right, so you've got crystal filter there for the received VCOs there. We'll do AM mod. We'll get into AM in a bit and do that. Don't think we've got any other adjustments. Got a detector here. I don't know whether it's the FM detector or the AM detector at this stage. So I'll tell you what, if at least if I upset it, I can put it back, can't I? So we'll go to the oscilloscope. Put a jolly good signal on of 100 microvolts. Put a decent trace up and see whether it adjusts. And the answer, it doesn't. So it's the AM detector. So what we'll do is I'll go into AM. So let's see how we do that. Because at the moment it's on EC, so I don't think we can get into AM from here. Let's just check. Don't know what that did. Don't know why it's gone to channel 1 either, but it has. Okay, turn it off. At least I can see it printing it out A4. You got all this menu drivel as well. Did I say drivel? So in EU mode it'll do in EU mode it'll do 40 channels, 4 watts AM and FM, which is what we're going to do right now. In UK mode it'll do UK and CPT FM. It won't do AM in CPT mode. And then in UH it'll just do the UK set of channels. So we're going to put it into EU so we can set up the AM. So I'll just see how to do that. Pressing the AM FM button and we switch it on. Just pop that to EU, and then what do we do? Turn it off? I don't know. Did that do it? I don't know. Because I've got a memory like a sieve, what we were supposed to be on. Don't know. Doesn't say. But it hasn't done it, has it? Let's do that again. Perhaps we've got to wait for it to start flashing. Let's see if that does it. That's what it does. I wish it just said and wait 5 seconds, but no, it doesn't do that. So now we'll be able to go into AM. So back to channel 40. We'll go into AM on the signal generator. So now we're on AM, 100 microvolts, set the detector. It was a bit out, wasn't it? Let's try that again. Yep, that's spot on now. Right, sensitivity will never be as good as it would be on. I'll tell you what, it's not bad. It's just about 1 microvolt on AM for 12 dB SINAD. It's always going to be less. What else? Well, while we're in AM, let's do the AM mod. Wally. I have to disconnect the speaker. I was going to interfere. Wally. It's actually over the top. How's that happened? So it needs to really not be above 95%. So AM mod. Let's use the thingy. We'll have to disconnect the speaker, aren't we? Wallow, wallow. That's better. It's about 94%. I'm not even showing you the meter. What a wally. So 90% is full scale deflection. Wallow, wallow. It's just over the 90%. But it's not squedging, so it's not doing as it was at first. We're getting distortion. So that's done that. So we better go over to the other test set and do FM. Let FM on the radio. Wow. Oh, it's pretty low, that. It's actually reading 1.5 on this meter. The trouble is I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do AM first and then FM's kind of an offshoot. I get that impression with modern sets. This isn't going to be fun to adjust. Wall. I think we'll go and get a different tool for this. I was actually looking for an RS type tool, trimming tool. What I've done is to use this screwdriver which just happens to fit that preset. Not ideal, but for some reason the ceramic trimmers don't fit those type of trimmers, and I've got every size available, but there we are. So that's brought that up to an absolute peak of 2.5 kilohertz. So we'll go back off that test set and back onto the Marconi, and we'll just see. We'll just drop the tools on the floor and we'll just see what we've got on this. Wallow. We're on AM. How about FM? Wallow. Yeah, it's reading right today. Good. So that's that done. Back at that socket, it's got 3 connections. It's not going to be the normal pattern. We've got a scrap surface mount version of the Midland 78 here, and that's my only hope. I'll look at that behind the scenes. I think just get this finished and we can get the video out. So I'll just go through what there is. So we've got AM mod, which in this case was too high and it was squedging. We've got FM deviation, which in this case was too low, so it was too quiet. We've got automatic power control here, which we managed to get to 4 watts just, and we have still got to do Squelch. So which one? There's 2, aren't there? We've got deviation, as I said. We've got normal Squelch. We've got auto Squelch, and then we set the frequency here. We're not touching the VCO because the set isn't out of lock, and we've got no specific instructions. So we'll go to receive on FM, set the Squelch. Making sure we're on channel 40. To reconnect this speaker, haven't I? Okay. So let's look at Squelch. The normal Squelch, as it was okay. Switch it to full. Go over to the attenuator on here. It's a bit slow to react, but 3, 10, 30, 100. It's actually coming straight away now. So it's not being slow. Right, so that is how we want it. Let's go through these. We can do transmit current. I'll just go back to transmit. It's 1.46 now. So it was about 1.7 kilohertz, and AM was over 100%, so you get squedging, and it's now 95%. It's 2.2 to 2.5, so that's an average of 2.2, an absolute peak of 2.5, and we've still got a Squelch threshold of 100 microvolts, which is what we've got. An ASQ position here. I don't know whether it really is automatic or whether it's just preset. Let's go to minimum Squelch. Switch the signal generator to standby. Put the Squelch on the radio to threshold. Signal generator on. 0.64. And you can see it was 0.62 because it is actually the same because nothing's been altered. And the auto Squelch, let's switch that on. It's 5 as it is. I'm going to just drop that a fraction. I think we'll be better off with 2.5. So auto Squelch. We're going to use this screwdriver again. It's a bit too little now. That's it. I'll tighten it up a bit more. A bit more. That's now spot on 2.5. Otherwise it's pointless having the Squelch. 2.5. Everything else is going to remain the same because there's no adjustments. So, no meter. That suits me down to the ground. Right, all that remains is to reset it for UK channels, and we'll just put the figures in for that. So reset the thingy, reset it again, and there we go, and channel 40. put that in on the transmit power. Yeah, so it's probably going to be a little tiny bit less than 4 watts. Let's have a look. Actually, it isn't, it's 4 watts. Good. Need to trim that frequency now everything's warmed up a little bit more. Where are we? 2. Thank you. That'll do. Right, we'll come back to this. I'll probably conclude the video at this point, apart from putting it on the aerial. So the chances of finding one of those is very slim. I just need to find the scrap Midland 78 just in case it's the same kind of component. Right, so I've been able to do that. I found that one of those awful EM27 sets, that's the Radio Shack version, you know, where the battery leaks and wrecks the printed circuit. They've got a surface mount socket on which is the same pin arrangement as this. So that's gone in. So it wasn't too scary, it was a matter of just unsoldering using extra flux plus desolder braid, and that now works. So we'll start off on external speaker. What am I talking about? Power it back up. So we plug in the extension speaker. And then plug in the internal speaker. And plug in that. That cuts out. Good. Now this customer has sent us quite a few scrap bits and pieces. So although we haven't recovered the part from one of his things, well, there's no fee for that. Right. So we're all done. So this will just be a retune and test, very low on transmitted audio, bit too high on AM as you've found out. Power 3 watts now, 4 watts, nothing you can do on receive, and Bob's your uncle. So we'll get it plugged into the aerial, optimised across the 80 channels. Detector was a bit out for AM, which is the only receiver adjustment you've got. One screw for the back. Good. Make sure they're now tightish. And instead of the test gear, we'll plug in the roof aerial. Switch off the test gear, switch off the smouldering bat. Oh yes, there's all these daft menus, aren't there? Let's put the Squelch on auto. Let's put it on manual. Where's that info gone? Daft menu time. Quick backlighting selection. Pressing the down arrow, turn on the radio. Wrong switch. Pressing the down arrow, turn on the radio. Try again. And then we can select. Yeah. Well, I can't say that did what it says. Let's see whether it's the wrong way round. Nope. Anyway, we're going to menu, and menu is pressing 919 button, turning it on. So BP is what? Of course, if you don't react within so many seconds, of course, it takes it off you. Because we've all read the thingies. Oh, bleep. What's the next one? TO is timeout timer. SC is going to be... You can see what I'm getting at. I can't read the paper, and... We'll see if we can get to BC backlight colour. It's probably that one. Oh no, it's that one. BP. Oh, it's just backlight high or low. Right. My instructions is for a slightly different variant, so there we are.
Turn left. It's looking bad there, Matt B's.
Spoke. Local farmers like to use channel 9. There's no legal reason why not either in this country. Right. Let's go out to scan. One niner, Roger. Considering it's a very sensitive set, there's nobody out there. It's about 1:30. See if we can remember how to put it into European mode. So EU, I think it is. One niner, Roger. You might get one on 1.4 on here. 1-4, Roger. Just interference on AM. What line, Roger? That's useful, isn't it? One liner, Roger. Well, you can't talk too close to the radio because it has kind of listened back through the internal speaker. Back to UK. Nineteen, Roger. Nope. Oh, well, there we go. So, there we are, the TTI. It's the N version, isn't it? TCB550N. So, retune and test and sort that that extension speaker thing out. So, we're doing on the air test tonight. We'll go through all the modes and both on UK and on EU. Thanks for watching.